Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Somos Mas, the official podcast of Somos Mas NM, and your source for the latest news and notes on New Mexico United and the New Mexico Runners. My name, of course, is Seth Biddle. Thank you guys for joining us here as we do each and every week over on YouTube, Facebook, and our Twitter feeds. We appreciate each and every one of you popping into the chat. Of course, as always, throw your questions and comments up there. We do have a lot to get to this week. Joining me so far is the one and only Earl Nieto. Earl is with us tonight. Jacob is supposed to be joining us at some moment. So hopefully Jacob will pop in here and we'll add him into the feed as soon as he gets online. Earl, I mean, first of all, I want to say, appreciate you being here, being on time, and, coming in with a professional attitude for 2 weeks in a row.
Carry on.
All right, then. No, we do. You and I thought we had a fantastic show last week. I got busy, didn't get the finished episode out, but it's done really good numbers on our feeds so far, especially the video feeds. It's done really well. So I thought we did a really good job. I thought it was a really good episode. We hit some things that we don't normally get to talk about. And so, there's so much that happened today. And before we get into really the meat of our show, I gotta ask, have you ever had anything go viral before? Because this has been insane.
No, but listen, did you know that pigs don't sweat?
I did not know that. Thank you, Earl.
Now you do.
Good to know. That's I assume there's a reason for that. Now you've got me thinking.
So
you went and researched this, didn't you?
So if someone tells you that they're sweating like a pig, you might want to point out to them, if you're that kind of person, that if they were being biologically accurate, that would mean they're not sweating at all. Okay. Swine, also known as pig, are born without sweat glands, so when they need to cool off, their only option is to find a cool puddle of mud so that they can roll around in.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's Earl's fun fact of the week.
Oh, good to know. All right, Jacob, you are just in time. You just missed Earl's fun fact of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Man, I always look forward to that.
There we go.
Yeah. So this week, the people who actually tuned in a little bit early get two of them.
Okay.
Listen, did you know for 20 years a cat served as the mayor of an Alaskan town? Now you do.
A cat served as mayor of an Alaskan town.
Yep.
How?
So, in 1997, an orange cat named Stubbs became honorary mayor of the Alaskan town of Talkeetna, with a population of 772, which is about the size of Mount Air. In 2000, it would not have taken too many votes to earn the position, and the small town did not actually have a real human mayor anyways, but Stubbs proved adept at the role, gaining fans from around the world and serving in the position for years, greeting tourists and becoming a beloved symbol of the town until he died in 2017.
So what I'm hearing is that a cat could do your brother's job.
I was going to say the same thing.
Exactly.
Oh man! All right, Earl is treating us to fun facts this week. So if you're here early, appreciate you being here. Didn't get to the burning question yet. I did.
That wasn't the burning question.
That was not the burning question. No.
Oh.
I was trying to vamp until Jacob got online. So now that Jacob is here, Jacob, we're glad you're back. We're glad you're feeling better. At least you seem to be anyway. Are you still feeling any ill effects, or are you good to go?
Not terrible. In fact, last Tuesday was kind of the worst day, and since then I've been pretty good. Still don't have quite the energy that I feel like I probably should, and I have a cough with phlegm. But other than that, been good. Been working. It hit Allie a lot harder though, so we're both down for. Yeah, Allie had it first.
Oh, okay.
I thought maybe I'd be okay, but nope. So we're trying to move and paint the new house and everything like that. So it's been a hectic week or so, but no, I'm good. glad to be back.
Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear that you and hopefully Allie is doing well.
Yeah, she's better now.
So is it safe to assume that you finally got offered the position?
No, I'm still seasonal. It's a long story. We talked about off air.
All right, we will certainly do that.
Everything's still good. It's just things with the state take time. I have learned that already in my 2 weeks of working for them.
Listen, did you know that New Mexico is no longer part of the union?
Oh dear fucking God.
Speaking of state issues, yeah, and apparently New Mexico is not part of the union.
How are you doing, Mr. Worldwide? I mean, you're like nationally famous now.
I've been watching this, and last time I looked at it, it was at 1.3 million views on that tweet. 1.3 million for over a silly little tweet about a position that I applied for that I was denied the opportunity to move forward with because I was an international candidate. So yeah, it's insane. My phone has been going nonstop, and so one of the first guys that responded to it, his name's Lawrence. He's a buddy of mine. Go to church together. He responded, saying, I don't remember the exact. He was like, New Mexico, not new, not Mexico, and even that has like 1,400 likes on it. And like the tweet, this little subtweet I put in, trying to get people to go donate to Red Cross and things like that, that's got like 100,000 views on it as well. Like, it's just insane. So like Twitter actually said, hey, do you want to set up filters for your notifications? We see you're getting a lot of them. Do you want to set up filters? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I started filtering them out. So I don't get as many notifications now, but like my phone's been just going off constantly for almost the last 24 hours. So yeah, out of the blue, did not expect it at all, but
so we are now in the presence of a social influencer.
I don't know about that, but there's definitely some swagger here tonight, because I am a platinum tweeter, so
he's finally bringing some gravitas to the podcast.
Fucking time.
Oh yeah, we bring some professional air, an air of professionalism, and some respectability to this thing. We are worldwide now.
I like how he broke the emotionless robot just for his fucking tweet.
Yeah, that was it. Nothing else. Just the tweet.
Oh man. Yeah.
I will say though, I bet that company is pissed at you, not because you put them on blast, but because you didn't give them credit. All of those tweets they should be mentioned in, and their mention should be going skyrocketing upward too. But you robbed him of it and wanted to be the nice guy, and they're furious with you. I guarantee they were like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send this guy this message. He's going to make it go viral. He's going to get us all this credit, and we're going to get all this because any publicity is good publicity, right? And then you were like, nah, I'm going to black out the names and not give them credit. And now they're sitting there going, what happened? Why? No.
Honestly, I really firmly believe, it probably was just like a misclick, like, form letter or whatever. That's probably what it was. But like the email, people were questioning, why aren't you putting them on blast? Why aren't you doing this? I'm like, well, the email came directly from person@company.com. So like I found them on LinkedIn. I know who they are. The company is on Twitter. They have less than 1,000 followers on Twitter.
See, they should have double that now.
Yeah, they would have like 1.7 million.
Like I have about half as many followers as this company does now. But no, I sent them an email back. I said, hey, you just so you guys are aware, this happened. It says I'm an international candidate. Obviously, I'm not an international candidate. So yeah, it's been interesting. The people that have been interacting with this tweet too, like people that work in the state legislature for New Mexico are interacting with this and retweeting it and liking it and stuff. And so like, just like this little thing, I felt like it was just like this little thing, but then like there's all these other conversations branching off of it. Like I never expected that to happen. Like it's just been insane. Like people reach out to me, they've DM'd me like, oh, you're looking for a job. What kind of job are you looking for? This is what I'm doing now. Like some guy actually sent me a link to his company and said, hey, go check out this company I work for. We might have something that you're interested in. So
as of right now, your tweet has 30.5 thousand likes.
It's insane to me. Like
467 quote tweets
yeah.
and 1,860 retweets.
Yeah. Like I spent all this time doing soccer Twitter and sports Twitter, the occasional political thing, and then just this silly tweet about being called an international candidate goes viral. Like it's just insane. I don't get it. I don't understand. But yeah, I don't know, man.
I fucking hate it here.
Earl's over here trying. Earl, you give us a lot of comedic relief, and we appreciate that. And it's like, I just don't know, man. We've been pushing the podcast, we've been pushing the website, we go viral on like my personal account. Like,
yeah, that's my new saying, by the way, is I fucking hate it here. One of these days we'll have a t-shirt.
Let's get right into it, guys. We do have far more important things to talk about than a tweet I sent out. Yeah, there's a lot of news from around the USL, MLS, and New Mexico United this week. So our one burning question this week, how big of a deal is a transfer to Europe?
Not too big of a deal. Listen, did you know you're more likely to get a computer virus from visiting religious sites than porn sites?
You would know, Earl.
Yeah, you do.
I thought for sure the burning question was going to be, why didn't we reschedule the Phoenix match for October 5th?
That's next. We're going to get to that. But I told Earl ahead of the show, I said, there's probably going to be a lot of salt ready to go. There's probably, because
speaking of salt, did you know the inventor of the Pringles can is now buried in one?
What?
Yeah.
Jacob, he is so glad that you're back.
Question. Is this how it's going to be like all night, Earl? Because I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do it all night.
Look. You missed last week. You sick son of a bitch.
Literally, yeah.
Literally. So now it's my turn to be unprofessional. I'm just kidding. No, because my phone's about to die. Because I didn't charge it all. Because I was actually YouTubing how to beat Batman Arkham City.
Such a good game, by the way.
It is really a good fucking game. There are some parts in it I'm just like, what the fuck? Why can't I get this?
Why did I rush? Why did I rush to join a podcast?
Wait, you rushed?
Where I was going to be bombarded with
5 minutes
dumb facts and then have to deal with Batman Arkham City talk, which I'm sure is a great game. I'm just not a gamer. So.
Hey, just be glad you weren't here last week when we talked about
last week we went on for like 45 minutes talking WWE.
Yeah. You would have hated last week.
Did you not go to the event in Albuquerque?
No.
I
was going to, but then Roman Reigns wasn't coming down, and all the big names, Cody Rhodes wasn't going to be there. So I said, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I told Earl before, so there's gonna be a lot. There's a lot of salt going around right now. And we'll definitely get to the Phoenix salt here in just a minute. But I wanted to start with what I felt like was the bigger deal related to the USL here this evening.
You didn't feel like it was. It was. Yeah. The New Mexico news is so dumb and small and insignificant. And,
the Phoenix thing really is. But.
And this Kobe Henry transfer is one of several big money transfers that we've seen from the USL to Europe in the last calendar year or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it is to answer your burning question, it's a big deal. It's a very big deal for that. And we have one hopeful on New Mexico United already in Christian Nava that we would like to see be propelled into something maybe not as big as something like that, but he's a young up and comer that has a lot of talent and has been a pretty big part of this 4-game win streak that we're on, and the more breadcrumbs that we see leading up to more transfers, then it just gives us more and more opportunity to transfer guys like Nava or some other guys coming up the academy out to Europe or an MLS side or even Liga MX side.
Yeah, and friend of the show here, Harry Austin gave Devin Kerr some shit over on Twitter for calling it, a massive deal for the league, league wide implications. He called it, breaking the internet part 2 is what Harry called it. And I know Harry kind of downplayed it a little bit, and some other folks did too. But I'm going to the ESPN article. The ESPN article states that Kobe Henry transferred from Orange County SC to Stade de Reims of Ligue 1 in a new record transfer for any player out of the USL Championship. According to the article, the previous record was Diego Luna's move from El Paso to Salt Lake for $250,000. Kobe Henry's reported transfer fee is $700,000 with additional add-ons or a sell-on clause that could push that deal upwards of $1 million. Like, this is for a kid that couldn't find a home at 2 different MLS clubs because there was just no room for him to play. They didn't have positions for him. He's an 18-year-old center back. He had to wait until he turned 18 to even sign this deal. He had a really good season last year with Orange County, and a move has been rumored for him for a while. But yeah, I think this is massive. I mean, we've seen Jonathan Gomez go. We've seen Diego Luna move up. We've seen some other guys move on as well. But and I tweeted out from the show account.
You can't disparage Harry like that and not say Jose Gallegos. I mean,
oh yeah, Jose Gallegos as well. Yeah,
he's the one that Harry was throwing the fit about in the first place, and so
yeah, saying his wasn't mentioned, and to be fair, his name wasn't mentioned by the USL Championship or ESPN,
right?
So.
And you had Junior Fleming's a couple, or probably one of the first ones, and so there's plenty out there.
Yeah, there is. There's been a number of high value signings coming out of the USL, going to top tier divisions throughout the world now. We've seen guys go over to, I think it's the Dutch league. We've seen guys go over to League One. We've seen guys go over to go to England. You guys are going to MLS now too. And I just think, and I tweeted out, I said I feel like it's a big deal because it shows that MLS isn't necessarily the next stepping stone. It doesn't have to be. Players are going around the MLS now and finding futures outside of the US, which I think is significant for the development of the youth product here in the States.
I think Earl's asleep, but oh no, he's smiling. Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I can see where Harry's slights toward Devin Kerr were, because the way he announced it, it did sound like it was going to be like a league announcement,
like Pro Rel or something.
Yeah, something that's going to more directly affect every team in the league, as opposed to just another transfer from one specific team that, while is big news for the league, just the way it was put out there, much like the Brian Brown signing. It just wasn't quite put out there properly with the proper amount of. There's a dinosaur on Earl's screen.
No, I agree. I definitely think it could have been announced in different terms, and Harry, obviously, he did kind of poke at us a little bit, saying, the club that we follow announced they were going to break the internet. And to be fair, we talked about it last season, Brian Brown did not pan out. He just didn't. And, he didn't fit the system, and we're not going to really go into that, but yeah, like when you're doing something like this, like there has to be a way you announce these things. And like you said, like it doesn't necessarily affect the league as a whole. Now, obviously, Orange County is going to get the biggest benefit out of this, but I think what Devin was getting at is that pipeline to Europe is now more open than ever for other clubs.
Yes, it is.
Earl, any thoughts on Kobe Henry moving over to France?
I'm just happy you said pipeline to Europe and not pipeline to Russia.
We're so glad that Jacob is here.
Why can't we just have a freaking professional podcast when I'm here?
Oh man,
That was just a simple comment. No, I think it's a good move for USL. I mean, it gives struggling athletes in the MLS an option to come down and play and shine out, and then obviously have a chance to move up into skip the MLS realm that they couldn't thrive in, and then jump into something different, like a European club or even a Mexican club. I mean, it's good publicity, obviously, and it's good for, like I said, the struggling MLS players who just can't get their break to at least get a chance to prove that they have some kind of skill still.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's definitely something to take into consideration when you look at that. And speaking of the Mexican League, Pachuca lost a made-up trophy tonight to Atlanta United. So Atlanta United has picked up silver once again. So, you know.
So what does that make?
Real quick.
This is baseball talk, by the way. Does that make the Braves on 13 straight, or is it still 12?
13 in a row. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought.
13 in a row.
Have you guys seen this pitch that United States is playing on right now?
Yes, it's terrible. It's so bad. Like I've seen tweets calling for Pulisic to be pulled off, and like I don't blame them. Like there's no reason to be playing. There's no reason to be playing on that pitch. Yeah, it's horrendous. So I didn't even. I know we were losing 1-0 last time I looked at it. So
that's still what it is. But
is it okay?
But I've watched maybe 10 minutes of it, and I don't think it counts.
Yeah, good Lord, it's terrible, man. It really is. That pitch looks awful, and I can't imagine them letting them play on that. But the next major piece of news that came out today, MLS apparently decided they could not be shown up by the USL Championship and announced a brand new 10-year rights package with Apple and Apple Plus. The 10-year deal is worth $250 million a year. And as part of this package, every single MLS game will be shown on Apple Plus. No blackouts, no restrictions. The deal also includes the forthcoming Leagues Cup, as well as select MLS Next Pro and MLS Next matches. Like, this just came. I've known for a while that MLS's TV rights deal was coming up, but I didn't expect this. $2.5 billion for 10 years on Apple. From the way this article reads, if you're already an Apple Plus subscriber, you get access to it free of charge. If you are a season ticket holder for any of the MLS clubs, you get free access to it. It also makes it sound like you can possibly purchase it outside of Apple Plus. But if you are an Apple Plus subscriber, you do get this package for free. So number one, is this? And also part of this, they're going to do a pregame, postgame. They're going to do a whip around show, and it's sounding like matches will only be Wednesday, Saturday from now on for MLS. Like, how big of a deal is this? Like,
I mean, it makes sense because if you look at it, Premier League's on Peacock, WWE's on Peacock. All the major sporting brands are on some kind of streaming service. So it only makes sense for MLS to hop on Apple TV. Sorry, I'm just blown away by how disgusting that pitch is. Last time I seen it filled that bad, it was never mind. We won't talk about that. I should call her though. We're getting canceled today. No, I mean, if you, like I was saying, I mean, you look at all the major brands, they have some kind of streaming service attached to them. So it only makes sense for them to get their name out more than what it is and actually compete with like the Premier League and the Bundesliga and all the bigger competition leagues in order to make it a money market still.
Do you think it's worth MLS sacrificing because another part of this that we haven't mentioned so far is that the local TV deals, the local TV rights deals are done. There's no local TV rights deals for any MLS club anymore. So it's sounding like, although there will be some simulcasts on linear TV, it's sounding like a lot of these local broadcasts are just completely dying. Is it worth giving that up?
Yes, because if you think about it, what is the soccer age right now? So the hoopla soccer age is a millennial. Mm-hmm. Millennials are all on the different streaming services. I mean, as Jacob, he's looking at a HBO Max because of a millennial. You're welcome, by the way. I had to explain why there was another account on ours. I was like, look, don't even worry about it. Just go with it.
Yeah, the one I was using got deleted. Thank you.
Well, I had to re-log in, and I had to go back in our text messages to get to the password and stuff. And I probably scrolled for a good 45 minutes until I found it. And then I was like, oh, there it is. And then I logged in and it worked fine.
You should have just texted me. I would have told you it.
Yeah, I tried to watch because I started watching The West Wing because that's the only place you can watch it right now. And I went to go watch it one night and the profile I was watching on was gone.
Yeah, all of our profiles actually got deleted.
Oh, interesting.
I think that was an HBO Max thing. Fuck you, HBO. But no, so that's the thing is if they're trying to compete and keep the local market the way it is, I mean, keep the actual viewers, you have to adjust to the times, and jumping onto a streaming service to actually catch those fish is exactly what they needed. So them not having it on satellite or antenna TV doesn't really hurt them because only old people have satellite or antenna TV, which is bad because I have satellite TV or antenna TV.
I have an antenna. Earl, you are not old.
Seth,
I have an antenna. I have two antennas.
Seth, you cannot be pointing this out because you are the old person on the show.
Yeah, I actually have an antenna TV, to be honest. But that's because I also pay for like every fucking streaming service imaginable.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be so much easier, guys, if they just took all of the channels and shows that we want to watch and they just had them on one thing that we could just pay one bill for, and then it could just be all right there on one interface? Wouldn't that be something else?
That would be super nice because when I'm trying to watch probably one of Adam Sandler's greatest movies he's ever created and ever been in,
Grown Ups 2.
Happy Gilmore.
I'm talking about Hustle. If you haven't watched Hustle, this is a super shameless plug. It is one of the greatest Adam Sandler movies ever created.
I've heard fantastic things about this
It's
movie.
really fucking good. It really is. To the point. What's up, Harry? You missed your shout out a while ago. Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah, I'm surprised Harry's popping on this late. It's like past his bedtime usually. He usually pops off at this time, not on.
But anyways, Hustle. It's really good, even to the point where my wife watched it twice.
Wow, really?
She's the one who told me about it. She watched it first while I was in my room playing video games. And then I was going to bed. She's like, hey, you want to watch this with me? Absolutely. So we started it over, and it's really good.
It's on my list. I definitely want to watch it. Apparently, it's got like a 94, 95 like audience review on like Rotten Tomatoes or something.
I'm telling you, it's really good.
Yeah. All right, well, we're definitely gonna add that to the list. Got to watch that.
It's on Netflix, so if you don't have the password, let me know, and I will text it to you. Just so you could spend 45 minutes not scrolling and 45 minutes watching.
There you go.
I already have Netflix, so we're good there. I appreciate it, though.
Coming home from a friendly against Atletico San Luis from Liga MX. There you go, Harry. I bet that was fun. How'd that turn out for you guys?
4-0 loss, actually, for San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
Just throwing that out there. I am mesmerized by this field, guys.
I am.
It is like I'm
disgusting.
having a hard time peeling my eyes off of this because I've never seen anything so ridiculous.
No, I have, but I probably shouldn't call her.
Shut up, bro.
So I mean, Jacob, I want your take on this. Obviously, we know that in years past, DC United and other clubs have had their own local streaming deals that have been absolutely terrible in terms of the broadcast, and the quality of it. I mean, obviously, Apple has been killing it with their original shows. We've talked about a number of them before. I mean, how big? I mean, do you think that this is a better deal for MLS than the ESPN product, as well as having like the all the local deals, or do you think that it should stay with what they have now?
I don't think there's
real quick, Harry. No, they're talking about the El Salvador U.S. match.
Harry, if you have Fox Sports, just go watch 2 minutes of this game, and I want to hear your thoughts. But no, as for the rights deal, we knew something was coming. I'm actually a little bummed in a couple aspects of it. One, the Wednesdays and Saturdays, I kind of like having MLS matches just kind of sprinkled throughout the week. It's a nice little surprise on Sunday afternoon or something. But at the end of the day, that much money, even if it is for 10 years, is a huge get for MLS. And I mean, I'm not we literally have Apple TV for 2 shows. We watch Ted Lasso and we watch C, and that's basically it.
C was really good.
Yeah, C. I like C. So we're still gonna have it. We're still gonna watch it. It doesn't really change anything for us. To the people that are getting mad, because I have seen some on Twitter complaining about, another streaming service that we have to pay for to get what we want. That's what we asked for when we got rid of DirecTV and Dish Network. That is exactly what I think several people, maybe one on this podcast, predicted years ago when everything was branching off, was that, you're going to have all of these things that you're going to have to pay for now, and here we are. I'm not going to complain about it. I like most of the other interfaces. Have you seen? Because I didn't get a chance to read everything, but is there going to be some on demand? After
I
the
didn't
fact?
see anything about on demand. The article that I'm looking at doesn't mention it at all. It would be nice to have, which is one thing that I do like about the current ESPN Plus deal, is that they do have matches available on demand. But yeah, I don't see that. It does mention that select few matches will be made available for free. But yeah, that's one thing that's missing from this. I mean, if you've got the ability to go back and do that, then I think it's fantastic,
Yeah, if there's on demand involved, then it gets an A+ from me. That much money to have all the games there. If there's really no blackout or restrictions, if season ticket holders get access to the games, which I think is a nice touch. Just a bunch of things there that has been mentioned already that I think is good for the game and good for MLS as a whole. It's probably not perfect. I think you're gonna miss out on some eyeballs for those Sunday 2:00 ESPN ABC games.
Well, I'll tell you now, you don't miss my eyeballs because that's my nap time.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's what happens when you're 3.
100 years old.
Yeah. It's funny because we have the actual old person on the podcast, the person that acts the oldest on the podcast, and then
you,
me. Yeah, and I don't. That's weird to me. But Harry chimed in. Of course, he sees the red card, which was kind of ridiculous, and the pitch is very poor. It is beyond poor, if you ask me. But no, it's a good deal. I hope that USL can. I hope that can kind of push USL to a little bit more money, whether it's with ESPN or something like Apple. I don't care where. I'm very happy that there will no longer be MLS games on Twitter.
Yes.
That is one of the most infuriating things in the world. A lot of them are LAFC. And so I'm like, oh, LAFC playing. I want to watch them. Where do I need to go? Oh, I don't know. Where is it? And then I go to Twitter and then have to find how to find it on Twitter and then have to watch it on my phone on Twitter. And
if you're having difficulties finding it on Twitter, I know an expert.
Yeah, that's true.
We have a Twitter pro on the show now. So, but no, I agree. Like having matches, and I wish the men's national team would do this as well, because when? So I wish the men's national team would do this as well, because I hate finding out that the men's national team, yet FS1, ESPN, CBS,
I got the joke.
You got Tuden, you got put them all on one freaking carrier. Like that, like you said, Jake, that's the benefit here. You have them all in one place. And the fact that, I would love to see academy matches. Hey, there's a buddy Jerry over in the chat.
What's up, Jerry? Where have you been for the past 2 weeks?
Glad to have you, buddy.
Should I talk to Jerry in a year?
Yeah, there we go. Jerry,
every time I come on, or every time I'm on, he's not there. And every time he's come in, I haven't been here. So, hi, Jerry.
But yeah, no, I think that's a good thing. Having them all available in one package.
I think that's great. I think it's a catch-22 though, because I think with the way it is now, I know plenty of people that don't watch ESPN that watch Fox for whatever reason.
Just put all the national team matches on ABC, national broadcast. That's all you gotta do.
I'm not talking about national team. I'm talking about MLS in particular. Like having them just on the one thing makes it easier for those of us that enjoy the product already and can be like, oh, okay, well, if I really want to watch MLS, I just need to get Apple Plus and I'm set. It's the people that are kind of like, oh, I kind of like MLS, but I'm kind of, whatever, that might tune into a match if it's on ESPN or might tune into the championship because it's on ABC. But if it's going to be on this Apple product that they don't have, they're not going to go get it just to watch MLS if they're not actually into MLS.
Yeah, and I think there's some portions of this deal that are going to be really good. Like I love the idea of the whip around shows. Like we saw ESPN finally did it during the last round of the Open Cup matches, and it was phenomenal. I thought it was just a fantastic addition to that. And I've been having some talks with some of the guys over at the Cup.us about doing something like that. And of course, now that ESPN has started doing it, I don't know if those plans are going to continue, but pre and post match, fantastic. I want to. You tell me a match starts at 9:00. I want to see the match start at 9:00. I don't want to start at 9:07. I don't want to see it start at 9:15 after the 15-minute pregame is done. Like I think there's so much here that they could do. I saw people mentioning the possibility of documentaries, and once Messi comes to MLS, follow Messi around, do a documentary on that. Like, but it opens up a lot more avenues of content that MLS can jump into and push the content out there, which I think is great for the sport and great for the league.
Well, we could always just follow what Phoenix doesn't have, that one unnamed person walk around and just interview whoever the hell he wants.
Yeah, that's true.
It's your buddy on Twitter.
Apparently he got ignored the other night. So Earl is a Nashville fan.
Really, I was trying to wait until they didn't bash me anymore. Because I was definitely following along with the whole Atlanta sucks.
Harry
sucks.
Harry, I am the old man of the show, so I gotta do it every now and then.
I do have an MLS team, and it's Nashville.
Earl doesn't like soccer.
Where'd he go?
Stop! Let me show it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, Earl doesn't even watch half the time.
Oh
So, you know.
gosh, I'm literally the one that told you guys about the El Paso Phoenix match on Saturday.
You did, and admittedly, you did. I was busy doing other things, and so I
Another
wasn't
red
paying
card.
attention to that. But yeah, no, it's so yeah, MLS making announcements, USL making announcements. Another USL championship announcement that came out today. New Mexico United and LA Galaxy 2 have finally scheduled their second match of the season for October 5th. And this one got a little salty.
Matches, dates.
Yeah. This one got really salty across social media. I didn't
You know
see
what? Hold on,
Facebook.
before you get salty, this men's national team game is getting pretty fucking salty.
This is insane. This is insane. It is hilarious right now. Another
The
red
dude
card.
just-
This one to El
The
Salvador.
dude just slid like 10 yards on his own.
Ariola. Oh man, Ariola got a red card. Who went out for El Salvador now?
It
Rodriguez.
was
I don't know. Who he is.
Rodriguez number 5.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of hard to distinguish the number.
Not to
'cause
be
it's all
confused
paintings.
with Mambo number 5, but
Number 5? There isn't a number 5. Oh yeah,
There
Ronald
is. He's
Gomez.
literally walking off the pitch.
Gomez. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, so Twitter, I know, got salty over this, claiming that United supposedly didn't have any dates available and all this kind of crap. And I put out a statement. I put out a tweet on both my personal account and on the show account. And I confirmed with the club weeks ago, because this match has been to be determined since the schedules were released. And before the Phoenix Rising issue happened with the COVID tests and having to reschedule the match. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. This is a date that we've been talking to the club about for months, trying to figure out where this match was going to go. The club finally figured out, hey, October 5th, it's an open date, and they submitted it to the league, and it was awaiting league approval prior to Phoenix Rising. This has been confirmed by multiple people at the club. This is not like some conspiracy theory. It's not like that. And I even said when they were talking about rescheduling that match, people were looking at dates. Austin Underwood is one, and some other folks. I said October 5th has a potential scheduling issue already. So all the salt, it's really funny to see.
It's just Himalayan.
But like, get off the conspiracy theories. Like, there's no conspiracy. Like that date has been in the league's hands for over a month, probably closer to like 2.5 months. That date has been in the league's hands to try to get an approval on it.
well, let's say what's really going on here is Phoenix is a shit show right now, and their
That they
fans
are.
don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
And their fans are looking for any excuse not to blame Phoenix and blame anybody else. And that's what's going on here. And I feel bad. No, I don't. I don't feel bad at all. But that's what's going on here. And they just need to get over themselves.
No, I absolutely agree. And I did kind of want to talk about Phoenix here just for a little bit as part of this discussion, because, and Jerry, I'm glad you're in the chat if you're still there.
I'm not.
And we've been saying this for weeks now. Phoenix is not the same club that we've seen over the past several years. And I talked to their local media guy a few weeks ago, and
Which wasn't very fruitious, by the way.
well, I talked to him out at UNM, and we actually had a decent conversation, and he confirmed some of what I suspected.
Before you continue, was this before the moping on the bleachers or after?
Before.
Okay.
Yeah, this was before. This is before the match. He and I were in the press box. We were talking, and
So
he
before the
confirmed some
eviction.
things.
Got it.
Yeah, before that. Yeah, and he confirmed. They're not. Phoenix is not good at the back. They're not playing well against pace. They're not playing into space very well. They're not connecting, and so watching this match the other night after you kind of started talking about it, El Paso clearly outplayed Phoenix in this match, hands down. But Phoenix had some really good opportunities that they didn't take advantage of. And, Rising just are not the same team. And like, so I kind of understand like the saltiness of their supporters right now, but at the same time, it's like, take an objective look at what's going on. Like your team is not playing well in this stretch. And, that's where your issues are. Fix the issues with your club, with how your team is playing, and then if there's still, the scheduling crap and all that, fine, whatever. But, I think it's displaced anger at what's going on in the Rising organization right now.
Exactly.
Jerry, if you're in the chat, we'd love to get your take on.
No, we don't.
I would, because Jerry sees more of El Paso than we do. Now,
all we're going to see in the chat is number 3 on the table, blah, blah, blah. Yuma's a god and blah, blah, blah. Was there any United player that got signed to an MLS team? Blah, blah, blah.
Cody Mizell. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up because, I felt like there was just some discussion to be had. And, I know that most fan bases would be salty if they had to deal with some of the stuff that Phoenix Rising has. And we've done it. We've dealt with bad stretches of play and we blame, schedule congestion and this, that, and the other. And, but what it comes down to is the play on the pitch. Rising are not connecting on their opportunities. They're not performing. And that's what it comes down to right now.
Right. This is Rising are 7-7 on the year.
Mm-hmm.
They have 7 wins, 7 losses, no draws. They have beat Monterey Bay, San Antonio, Los Dos, us, Miami, San Antonio again, and Hartford. They were severely outplayed when they played us the one time they beat us in the regular season. If you're looking at their losses, 1-0 to El Paso, I thought they were severely outplayed. 1-0 to Birmingham. I didn't watch all of that game. I did feel like Birmingham was the better club. 5-1 to Tampa. A 3-0 loss at Los Dos. And then a 3-2 loss and a 2-1 loss to San Diego and Las Vegas Lights. They're not 2019 Phoenix Rising. They just aren't. And I don't think they're going to be this year. In fact, I would bet quite a bit of money that we're going to finish ahead of them in the standings at the end of the regular season. And I would bet a small amount of money that they're not going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how they look right now.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with the way that they're playing. Like, it would not surprise me if they dropped out because you've got teams below them. I mean, Monterey has come on strong in, recent weeks. Obviously, the last 2 matches, not so much, but, Roots are playing better. RGV is kind of up and down, but I think they could go on a run here towards the end. It could very easily happen for Phoenix Rising to fall out. Jerry Murillo over in the chat. The thing that is the most fair thing to do was to postpone the game of New Mexico United versus Phoenix, but still you can't blame New Mexico United. The irresponsible team was Rising. There you go. I mean, yeah, they're the ones Phoenix positive, and we've talked about this. They're the ones that tested positive.
So we haven't had a chance to talk to Jerry about this, so I'm kind of excited that he brought this up. Jerry, do you think, in your honest opinion, that Rising was right to postpone it for a couple days, or should they have postponed it longer?
Yeah. Now there are obvious, there have been a lot of rumors. I'll talk about that, saying that had the match been postponed one more day, then Rising's full first team would have been back. But one of their isolated players tested positive as well. So, and we didn't hear anything about anyone else. But it's. And we've discussed the scheduling issues at large because of how things look. I mean, with United schedule, UNM schedule, the isotopes, and all of that, and the dates that were possibly available. And then you've got Phoenix Rising fans saying, "Oh, just move the match out to Phoenix." Well, no. Phoenix should not get a second home match just because of some scheduling conflicts when Phoenix Rising tested positive. That's where I'm at with that. So like United shouldn't be stripped of a home game because of it. It does, when we talked about it before, it does highlight the need for a stadium, which we know is coming. We're expecting an announcement here at some point. But yeah, no, it's interesting to see other people's takes, like you said about Jerry's here, because all we've seen is we've seen United's people talking about it. We've seen Phoenix people talking about it. I know where Harry stands on it. But I mean, to Jerry's point here, Jacob, do you feel like this is more on the league, United, or Rising?
I'm just not going to comment on it. I think this was 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That we had this conversation that had happened. What's done is done. It's sucked all around and it's over. Phoenix needs to figure their shit out, and as far as what their product on the pitch is, and get over it. And we now know we play Los Dos at the Lab on October 5th, and that's that. Those two things are not connected whatsoever. They are, one's over here and one's over here, and that's the way it is.
Jerry over in chat, longer it was an academy squad. You sincerely think Mexico United can beat the starter Phoenix squad? So no, absolutely not. No, I don't think any of us have that expectation. Like, we expected lower scoring matches this year. We expected them to be close, and there's no way it would have been 7-0. I mean, and we've said that it was an unfortunate set of circumstances. United was put in a terrible spot. Like there were really no options. Did someone score, Jacob?
Yeah, United States scored in stoppage time.
Wow. Salvaging a point against El Salvador. Who scored?
Jordan Morris.
Okay. He did, he probably deserves that one.
It's a sloppy situation.
I like Jordan Morris. I do. I think he's a solid player. I don't think he gets enough credit, but all right, we're gonna move right on from that. New Mexico United did have some news and results from over the weekend. The New Mexico United Academy beat El Paso Academy again on Sunday the 12th. I believe the final was 1-0. United down to 10 men, and I believe it was Paulo Vela made the save, correct? And then his brother scored the goal. I want to make sure I have that correct.
No, Paulo is the defender that scored.
Okay, Paulo scored, and then his brother made the save on the penalty. All right. So yeah, the Mexico United Academy beat El Paso Academy over the weekend. So congratulations to them. Speaking of the Academy and the way the matches played out this weekend, there's a fantastic article, a great piece written by David Carl, friend of the show, Director of Communications for the club, over on NewMexicoUTD.com. Please go check it out. I've read through it a couple times. It's really fun it's a really great read. So go check that out. All right. Oh, Jerry throwing bombs here. Incredible how Luna is outshining Nava.
I mean, okay. He's a man-child compared to Nava, for one. He's been a part of the first team for you guys for much longer than Nava has for us. And yeah, I mean, Luna's a heck of a player. I'm not going to talk crap about Luna. But I don't know where that came from. I think you're just bitter that El Paso isn't having the year that they should be having this year.
All right, so I'm gonna look up and see what Diego Luna's done since he's
just
joined.
don't
Nothing.
feed into it.
I'm just curious because I don't think he's
done nothing.
Okay. I don't even know how many minutes he has since he transferred, but
Probably
6 minutes.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Anyway, we'll look that up. But and to that point, Jerry, I mean, Diego Luna is obviously talented, and he has a lot more time with the first team than Christian Nava has.
So hold on, before you continue, I'm gonna take this bullshit off because I don't want to listen to Diego Luna. Sorry, we have kids talking, so
okay. But give Nava more time, and Nava is going to continue to develop. Oh, there we go. There's the reason. I just want to see Earl red. So glad you're back, Jerry. Glad to have you in the chat. Also in the Mexico United news from over the weekend, the U23s picked up their first win of the season with a 3-0 victory over Salt City SC up in Taos over the weekend. So congratulations to the U23s on their first win. They currently sit third in the Mountain Division behind Park City Red Wolves and Flatirons Rush. Park City Red Wolves are sitting on a record of 4-0-2 on 14 points. Flatirons Rush 2-2-1. 7 points, and United U23s 1-1-2 on 5 points. United U23s are back in action Thursday night, actually, against Salt City once again for their third and final matchup between the two sides of the season. So I believe that one is out of town. Yeah, that one is at Zion's Bank. So yeah, there you go. So if you're in the Salt Lake area, go check that out. See if you can catch the United U23s and Salt City SC on Thursday night. Their next two matches, Salt City and Park City Red Wolves, are both away before returning on Thursday, June 30th, for a pair of matches against the Park City Red Wolves. So be on the lookout for that. All right, guys, so we're going to get into our final little piece of the show here. New Mexico United does have a match tomorrow, Wednesday night, against Oakland Roots SC. Oakland having an interesting season, unbeaten in their last 5. They're coming off of a draw with RGV, and before that, wins over Monterey Bay and Orange County. New Mexico United obviously has not played in a few days. We had a week off after a 2-1 win over Orange County as well. United currently sit 5th in the table, and Oakland Roots sit 8th. What do you guys think about this match? You know, has Oakland played up to where you expected them this year? Or do you think that this is a match that United should have in hand? Earl's not even paying attention.
Okay. I think that it should be a win, but Oakland is a very weird squad.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland is a very resilient squad. We saw them last year come on to a shit show with their pitch and stadium problems and poor play on the field, and then they come back and they make the playoffs. They upset El Paso in the playoffs, and you think, okay, well, this year they'll be a little better or they might get off to a bit better start, and we'll see what they're capable of. And then this year has kind of been up and down as well. They seem to be the king of come from behind, at least draws. They did it to us already once. The RGV match that they just played that you mentioned, they were down 2-0 going into like the 80th minute or later. Ended up drawing it 2-2. So I just don't know what to expect from them. You look at our form coming in. Yes, we've had 10 days off, but coming off of 4 wins, 3.5 if you want to count the Phoenix game as a half. I don't care. But still three solid wins, even apart from that Phoenix game. And because of that, I feel like looking at where the teams are at, looking at where we're at, it should be 3 points for us, even though it's on the road.
Earl, looking at how we played last week against Orange County, obviously Sean O'Coley coming on in the first half, and you and I talked about it, made a massive difference for Orange County. Do you think United bounces back from that tactically and makes some better decisions? Or do you think that they allow something like that to happen again, where they just get pushed around for basically an entire half?
Yes. I do think.
Wait, where is it? Where is it?
Nope.
There it is. Earl doesn't like soccer.
That's why I asked him the tactical question.
So honestly, I do think that United bounces back from the tactical mishap that they had last week. I mean, if not, we will get scored on. But I honestly see us bouncing back and not making those error mistakes is what they were.
Mm-hmm.
So if that answers your question, then yeah. And
Uh,
in other news, Jerry can't really talk about Diego Luna because even though he was called up to MLS, the part that he's missing out or forgetting to mention is that he was called up to the MLS Next Pro, which is the equivalent to the MLS Academy. So he's not playing. Diego Luna's not playing top names like Carlos Vela or whoever the fuck else is in MLS these days. He's playing kids like Axel Kai.
Axel Kai is a man child, first of all.
Yeah, and so is Diego Luna, who has probably seen a bunch of dead puppies in the streets of El Paso.
I don't even know about that, but oh, Harry, there you go. Harry,
dead
save
puppies
me.
in the street.
You're wrong, Earl.
You are wrong, Earl. He might be playing MLS Next Pro right now because there is no MLS minutes to be going around because of the international break. But international break in quotation marks for MLS because there are still some games going on. But he did get into MLS minutes. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, looking at this matchup against Oakland this week, like you said, obviously United's been playing really well, and we've talked about it. And Jacob, we talked about the Phoenix match, how there's not really a whole lot you can take away from that because we did play against some of their academy kids that got called up. But there were lots of good things that we saw in terms of pressing in that match and how United looked moving the ball around. Jacob, did you get a chance to watch the match last week? Obviously, we know you weren't here, but what was your take on how United performed in that second half? And what does United need to do to kind of flip that back around?
So, to me, hold on.
Well, Harry, to be fair, we were hoping for a meteor to hit Phoenix the other night. So
yes, we were. So in the Orange County match, the first half, we looked fantastic. I thought it was probably one of the better halves of football we've played all season. And to me, the second half was more. Orange County is, despite what their record so far this year says, is a top-notch club that has a lot of good talent. And we were playing in Orange County, and they just did not back down.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it was less about some tactical errors that might have been made. To me, if you get two solid clubs like that, one of which is on the ropes, down a goal, playing at home, more often than not, you're going to see the tide turn in their favor on the attacking side. And I thought we did very well to hang on and to preserve the 3 points. And our back line, while it was not perfect, showed a lot of grit, showed a lot of moxie, whatever you want to call it, whatever dumb word you want to use, and was able to pull out the 3 points. And that to me was more important than any tactical mistake that might have been made.
All right, I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
I got a question. So I was wrong. Okay. Diego Manchild Luna did appear for Vancouver.
Hey, Jerry,
Okay.
do me a favor real quick. Since you like to post clips of our show, please go back and clip that.
I was
post
wrong.
that wherever you want. Post
Yeah,
it.
I was wrong. Look, 30-second clip right now. I was wrong. Okay, I'll admit it. So I guess my question now is it meaningful MLS minutes
No.
if the team is losing 2-1 and you see 2 minutes of playing time?
No.
All right, I'm gonna ask the Twitter guru.
Yeah, honestly, no, because really in those 2 minutes, okay. The odds of having an impact in 2 minutes worth of play on the pitch is significantly lower than if you play, 10, 15, 20 minutes. The reason being, you're not going to really be able to get into the flow of the game and get an idea as to how the players around you are playing. Because heading into that, I don't believe he had a whole lot of time training with the first club. I could be for the first team. I could be wrong on that. I haven't seen anything about it. I haven't read about it. But to Harry and Jerry's point here, like MLS minutes, making a debut is important in that you're getting out there, you're being in the atmosphere, especially immediately after signing. That to me is the biggest takeaway from that. Not necessarily the impact that he had, because I think it's better. Honestly, I think it's better for someone to come in that type of situation where you're going to get the exposure, but not be thrown into a match where you're pressing for a win, or like that. That's what I think is more important in that situation. Now, are they still meaningful minutes from a play perspective? No, it's more, like I said, experiencing the atmosphere, getting out there, and understand, starting to understand what that's going to be like.
Okay, you can carry on. Sorry I interrupted. Hey, I have a bunch of caps hanging on my wall, so
Probably doesn't understand that, but it's a cap.
Life goes on.
This is why we bring on guests like Casey Gasson. And we love having you guys over here in the chat. But I understand where you're coming from, though, Earl. From a play perspective.
I also want to correct Jerry, because he says that Christian Nava is playing better, or has outshined Christian Nava, or Diego Luna has outshined Christian Nava. Because, and yeah, he may be, okay, but he's also played with one academy, two academies, and then hit El Paso. So he went through two academies and then hit a professional team. So he's had 2 years before and then 1 year playing. So he has 3 years ahead of Christian Nava. So yeah, I don't want to hear that Diego Manchild puppy killer watcher, whatever the heck he is better than Christian Nava, because Christian Nava hasn't seen puppies dead in the street before. And now I rest my case, because we're probably canceled at this point.
We're definitely
PETA's going to cancel us, Earl. That's what's going to happen if you keep talking about dead puppies. Earl.
Well, I mean, PETA's not going to cancel us. I'm raising awareness for that El Paso kid that's trying to get away with it. Little did you guys know. So here's another fun fact. Did you know that each of Diego Luna's tattoos on his neck indicates one puppy?
What?
Harry, Jerry, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I think we might be off the rails. I'm going to go ahead and give my score prediction for Oakland.
I'm going to see myself out,
and then we'll.
I'm just going to see myself out. I'll put on Twitter what my score prediction is. Seth, if you could retweet it to get 1 million views, that'd be great.
I really feel like we need some sad music playing over pictures of Diego Luna right now. Some Sarah McLachlan, some Sarah McLachlan music just playing over pictures of Luna looking like an angry man child.
Oh, I hate it here.
Ooh, okay. Earl, what is your score prediction for Oakland?
2-0.
Seth.
On the road, we've had some rest. Oakland's playing decently. We're playing pretty well. I like 2-0. I do. I like it. I think we've got opportunities, and we played well against Oakland last time. I know they scored late, but our defense has gotten better since then. So
That's my exact reason too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 2 million. Jesus. I'm gonna go 2-1. United. I think that we're just the better club. Yeah, you see what winning games does in the standings. I mean, we were outside looking in last. Well, when was that? It was right before the right before the Charleston match. So about a month ago, we were on the outside looking in, feeling pretty bad about where we were. And to come off road wins against Charleston and Indy and Orange County, just has to have us feeling pretty good. I think we get the 3 points. I think we come back home a week from tomorrow against RGV, and we're flying pretty high there. And you look at the standings right now. Colorado and San Antonio, hats off to you guys, Harry, are pretty clear there, 30 points through 12 and 13 games respectively. But then third place is kind of right there for the taking for us right now. San Diego's 3 points ahead of us, we have 2 games in hand over them, and El Paso's 2 points ahead of us, but we've got 4 games in hand over them. So I'm really liking where we're sitting. I really like this Oakland match. I'm excited for it. I'm bummed that it's game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals on the same night. I could be watching one of those 2 things right now, but no. I have to be here listening to Earl talk about dead puppies. And so tomorrow it's going to be a very busy day and busy evening with a lot of sports going on, but I'm excited for it. And again, 2-1 United. You can just go ahead and write that down. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point now.
I did have one. Well, I've got 2 questions left.
Dead puppies aren't much fun.
Jesus. Why? Why do we do this? Why are we here?
They don't come when you call. They don't chase.
He can unmute himself. He can't bring himself back into the stream.
I'll read it again. How, Jacob, you mentioned these matches in hand. How important are those going to become down the stretch? Because we know that teams like El Paso haven't necessarily been playing up to snuff this year, and we have matches in hand on a number of teams in the Western Conference. How important are those going to be?
They're only as important as the results you get from them. They mean nothing if we can't make some of those count as wins and get 3 points from them. I think that we have a good enough squad that we will turn. Right, like you look at El Paso, for instance, we're 2 points behind them, but we have they have 4 matches on us. Mm-hmm. If we can't win 2 of those 4 matches, I would be shocked. So those 4 I think are pretty vital in getting us over El Paso. Everybody else, San Antonio will only have one from them, and us and Colorado are even on games played. But I think you look at that. You look at, aside from Colorado and I'll say San Antonio, they might be a little bit out of reach, barring like a complete catastrophe here. But 2 on San Diego, 4 on El Paso, 1 on Sacramento, who's right behind or tied with us on points, 2 on Phoenix, who's a point behind us, 4 on Oakland, 3 on RGV. I mean, we have played the fewest amount of games in the Western Conference aside from Colorado Springs, and if we do what I think we can, then those games are hugely important. And I will go ahead and say that we will be hosting a playoff game is what I think is going to happen.
All right, and final question for the night: the World Cup field is finally set. All the qualifiers have been done. Who wins this thing? Way too early prediction. Who wins this thing?
The team with the most points at the end of the game, at the end of the final.
Okay.
Listen, did you know that dolphins sleep with one eye open?
I did not know that.
Now you do.
I actually did, but I don't care. I don't know, man. Who the hell knows? The only people that I know, the only teams that I know that are in it right now that I can think about are us, England, Iran, and Wales. So I will say us because why not?
There you go. Jacob's pick is locked in. World Cup champions of the United States of America.
I know one other team that's in there. Qatar.
No, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could be them. I forget about them. Up and comers, those Qatarians.
Right?
Yeah, they used to be dead puppies.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we're done.
Everybody in the chat, thank you.
One more time for Roman Muska.
Everybody that made Seth's tweet go viral, thank you. Now we have to deal with his big head as well as his soulless robot professionalism.
See, I made a promise to one David Carl that I would not make any more
Why are you still
comments.
talking?
You sound like my wife.
Why
Stop
are
it.
you still talking?
Stop sounding like my wife.
Why?
So easily could have used a forehead comment there, but I did make a promise to David Carl that I would stop. So there it is.
Yeah, you still fucking made it, Earl.
Actually, I didn't. I did not make any jokes about anyone's forehead or any kind of innuendo towards the forehead. What I did make, and I'm about to get muted, so dead puppies.
You made dead puppies? How terrible of you, Earl. Anyways,
No, my name's not Diego Luna.
And I don't know if I love this episode or hate this episode, but it's an episode. And until next week at 9:00, after we're talking about
Dead puppies.
hopefully an Oakland win and previewing an RGV match at home for the first time in what feels like forever. I don't even know.
They
Somos Unidos, guys. Bye.
dead puppies.